we should be live. It is Sunday, February or March? March 27th. The time is just after 7:30 p.m. and I think somewhere out there the Oscars are getting ready to go if they haven't already started. But you know what? I don't care. Do you care? Who cares? The Oscars are an old, outdated ritual, but I guess they're kind of fun. And welcome to another Sunday Night Live. I see Christine is here. Walks in Wall Street. Vivian Johnson. John O'Meara. Brad Palmer. Yahia. Tech Needs Tea. It's good to see you back. Stephen Collins. Christine. Marie Palmer. Godwin. Novell Koss. Michael Nguyen. John O'Meara. Now we're at the point where I can't remember if I've said the name already. Harjot. Susan. Cody. The Real Gumby. Hello, everyone. And I hope you've all had a good weekend and are having a good start to the week. And I know, Brad Palmer, you asked me to, or you sent a super chat to get a nice cold IPA. I actually did get one, and I drank it on Friday night stream. So tonight we're just going to have a 2.5% Bose Lug Tread. This is a extra light lagered beer. So I guess it's for people that just like the taste of alcohol, but they don't really want all the effects. Maybe this says more about me than it should, but anyways, I kind of like it, so we're going to have this Bose 2.5. I went out earlier today. I recorded 2 videos. I recorded one very long video yesterday, but unfortunately, I had another mistake with the zoom on my camera, so I don't know what to do with it. And, oh, I see Bevy is here. Deborah is here. PGH RPG is here, and some more people dropping into the chat. Tech Needs Tea, rap battle later, laughing her ass off. You know, I didn't set it up yet. I reformatted my hard drive and I didn't put the Epic Games back, or I think it was I actually had it on
rap battle later, Lamau.
I think I actually have those on Steam, but you know what, Tech, I promise you, because it's probably not going to happen tonight, but I promise you we'll bring it back next weekend or the next time I see you here. I just need like a little bit of time to do a dry run to make sure I can still get it up and running. So glad you're back. Thank you very much for the super chat. I promise you next time we'll bring it back at the end of the stream. Bevy, it is stumbles, not strides. Strides was working all day. Now it's time to take a bit of a break. So what do I have planned for this stream tonight? That's a good question. So we'll just do the usual. We'll hang out, make sure you follow the rules of the chat. There's not too many, but we do have mods here. We'll go through the usual places that we do. Maybe we'll check out Reddit. We'll check out BlogTO. And I have some pictures from when I first got to Korea. So some pictures that I took and some pictures of me. So we could go through those and we could talk about those a little bit. And then we can just do whatever. I think we'll probably be wrapping up around 9 p.m. if that sounds good. I also have some new toys to talk about and maybe show off. Susan says Chowhound got shut down. I don't even know what that is. Lisa says, oh yes, more photos of you. The photos of me are going to be buried in a bunch of photos that I took on the really old Nikon Coolpix. Little cheap point. Well, it wasn't cheap actually. It was like $400, but the quality is garbage. They're all these low resolution 4x3 photos that I actually had to fish off of Facebook. So we'll go through that. I don't even know what Chowhound is, but rest in peace, Chowhound. Oh, before I forget, let's ask. Are you going to watch the Oscars tonight? Does anyone care? Also, last night, I watched a couple. I went out to Stock Bar, which is a really, really amazing restaurant in Midtown Toronto. Like, it doesn't feel very Midtowny. So I went there, and then I came home And I watched a couple of movies. I watched Scream, the new one. Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox were still in it. And then I watched the real highlight of the night, Jackass Forever. So that's what I did yesterday. Before that, here, let's see. No, when I woke up, my new scooter arrived. Let's see if I can find it here. Consumer. It's the it's the Max. So this arrived. So I had some problems with my other scooter. So I just kind of pulled the trigger and bought this. It was actually, I actually got it from Best Buy of all places. And then I hopped on it and I went for a very long ride and my fingers got very cold and I don't think I'm going to be able to use that ride. I might upload it for members, for channel members and Patreon members. But this is what I got from Best Buy. Although it was $100 off when I got it. And I went from here, I went downtown and I went pretty far west. Then I came back up north and I was at like 50% battery. So this thing is ridiculous how good the battery is. So Eunice says it's my Rolls Royce. It's not quite. It's more of a high-end commuter scooter. It's not really a high-end scooter. You can certainly pay a lot more. Godwin saw the same scooter at... Are you sure there's different... there's a GW30L or PL. There's another one that's very similar, but I don't think this one was $8.99. There's another model that's slightly different, but it's got a lower... This one says it does 65 kilometers. Yeah, if you weigh 100 pounds and you're riding on eco mode on a perfectly flat surface with some wind at your back, you might get 65k, but realistically, you get about 40. So yeah, this is my new toy. I still have the old scooter. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But I did post a picture of this on Instagram. So that's what I was doing. So I'm going to get out and I'm going to stream on this thing later this week. Maybe I'll stream a few times. It was also on Amazon, but Best Buy had an earlier delivery date. So I just went with that. And the other thing, I guess you all saw this by now, but I got this the other day, my Snap G camera. I showed this off on the Friday night stream. But this was an example of me begging a company to send me something. So I got this. The first video I recorded with this went up on the channel on Saturday. So it's been interesting reading the comments and seeing what people had to say about it. My two concerns with it was, one, sometimes when I panned, it wasn't as smooth as my Pocket 2. And you could also notice occasionally with the gimbal, there was a little bit of jitter. And those comments did come up, or those concerns did come up in the comments. And I actually talked to the company about this, and they are aware of that. And they think they can fix that through a firmware update. So if they can fix those two things, I think this is going to be a pretty nice addition to what I use for my equipment. Also, it's got a live streaming capability built in. So I'm going to go out and do a live stream with it, maybe this week or next week, maybe on this. I don't know which channel I'm going to do it on, but I'm going to have to figure out how to set it up, and then we're going to go do it. So yeah, there's my Snap G camera. So between this and the scooter, also I mounted a camera on the back of my e-bike. So I'm looking forward to making some videos in reverse. I don't know, but it was just something I decided to do yesterday, and I did it. So that'll be fun. So now you're all caught up in the world of me. You thought I was testing the new Insta360 RS. They never reached out to me. I'm not big enough for the big companies to reach out to me and send me free stuff, nor... I don't know. I have had several companies try to send me a scooter, so I don't know what the heck I'm doing going out and buying one, but it was the one I wanted. Susan says we get to see more young Johnny in Korea. Yes, I do have some pictures of me, mostly of Korea, that I'll share since we shared some pictures last time. Godwin says he sees a lot of people have the same e-bike as me. Yeah, that moving e-bike is quite popular in Toronto. It's pretty... And so is the scooter. I think I have the most common e-bike and the most common scooter that you'll see. Cleanup Man says the Max is reliable. Not only is it reliable, it is super quiet. Not a rattle, not a squeak, nothing. And apparently the tires almost never get flats, which is cool. They're self-healing. It doesn't have a suspension, but it still seems pretty smooth. So that was my one concern. And you can add a suspension, but by the time you add a few, by the time you add the suspension, you might as well have just bought a scooter that came with one. Godwin says every time I see that e-bike, I don't know what their deal is, but it seems as if half the people out in the streets of Toronto are delivering with that. Brad Palmer says, hey, Johnny Stumbles, are you going to play any vids tonight? I don't know, actually. We'll see. Probably not. We're probably just going to hang out. We're going to go through the pictures and the usual stuff. I have to... the Oscars are losing a lot of credibility. I still have to edit my video for tomorrow, so I'm going to do that after this. So I don't know. But thank you, Tech, for your super chats. I do owe you a game of rap battle. Chris Mills, I can't read what you said there. All right, let's see the results of the poll. 16% say yes. They're going to watch the Oscars. 76% say no, and 9% said what's this all about? When I got home, I saw that Ken was streaming, so I thought, should I jump on my scooter and go track him down? But it's too damn cold today to do that. Michelle says, bring back the backwards walking vids. Go down memory lane. Speaking of memory lane, didn't I do a stream last night? Does anyone even watch the Oscars anymore?
With MailChimp, you can design more engaging marketing assets in no time at all, thanks to our AI powered.
So there's my old intro. Do you guys remember what my streams look like this? So today's video was cycling Bathurst Street to Toronto's waterfront. Yeah, that was also yesterday. I didn't really want to go out and spend too much energy. I've turned off my phone. I've not looked at my emails. I've just been... I might do this for... What are you doing, Johnny? Look at all this space over here.
Silva. All right, SR Gots. I won't play it.
Pretty. We can see who's in the chat, too. Look at this. A lot of the same people. Magic Entertainer, Susan, Ali, Michelle,
driving. I heard
Dan Tech is here.
In Scarborough.
Lauren,
Looks
Jim.
like
Remember Jim? What happened to Jim? Jim was all about the games. Fans, Buses Gaming, Deborah
awesome
Ball, Ro.
This prairie girl,
you guys have been with me for a very long time. It is
to stuff
amazing.
Like
Did I do anything fun in this stream? Oh, we played some rap battle.
Decent, y'all. Big up. Now it's you.
When they start rhyming, they all get up to kick. And that's my ass and Gary's about to lick. When life gives me women's, I make steaks. When you get out of bed, we all feel like
Alright, that was ridiculous. I'm digging that.
Jim with the oh.
The battle is now officially
We used to get kind of drunk
Use
when
your
we played
device.
that game. Hello, Harry Park. Val says we saw Terratopia during Ken's stream the other day. Fans Buses Gaming. Fans Buses Gaming, how is your channel doing? Liz 279 memories. Thank you. Thank you, Liz. Oh, you're up to 7,200 subs. Live streaming Fortnite for the first time.
Memories.
7 big ass fans in my retail tycoon giant grocery store. New car wash in my Bloxburg gas station, plus fan updates. Do you get like fan fetishists coming to your channel? Hunter ceiling. Like your channel is literally what you said it is. It's about fans. It's about gaming. I don't see so many buses. Where are all the oh, accidentally driving full speed off a cliff. There we go. Possibly the most random / interesting channel on YouTube. Fans, buses, gaming. Michelle Briggs loves rap battle and games overall. Do a poll to see if games should return. It was definitely the highlight of Sunday nights with Johnny. We're going to we're going to do them next Sunday as long as Tech is here. I just have to reinstall. I have the only game I have on my computer right now is Rocket League. I reformatted. Bevy says Anyang Sao. Bakali. Oh, Parkeri. I can get it. Chris Mill says now that's a rabbit hole. Godwin L. What's on my iPhone 13?
Hi there, welcome to my channel. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to do a what's on my iPhone.
Can you guys hear this
video.
clearly?
So this has been long awaited since I released
hey little XO
unboxing video. So now I'm finally going to do it. So today I'm just going to show you guys.
Where's your 4K, Godwin?
What is
Where's your
on
4K?
my iPhone, how I use my iPhone, and yeah, we'll go from there. So let's begin. We're just going to see my screen there. So the first screen that you see is the home screen. Right?
First critique, Godwin.
Screen. So you would see that
it's a good thing. Your music
from the left,
I think, is at the perfect level for you to speak over. You did a good job on that. You want it to be
and the weather
in between minus 20 to 25
also
dB
the
typically,
and
and it
the
looks
date,
like you
and
nailed
it's
it.
pretty standard for
Lisa says
most
F4K.
iPhones.
Yep,
Now if we swipe to the left, you will
4K looks
definitely
pretty
see here
fantastic if you have the
where
right TV.
it shows my battery. I have 73%. And also it
You know what, guys?
shows my
I'm gonna let you watch Godwin
Apple
for a sec.
Watch's
I
power
just
as
have
well.
to
Now, if you have other
step
Apple
aside for a
accessories
second.
such as
Sanjay and Kingston's here. Hi, Johnny and everyone. Hello, Sanjay and Kingston.
AirPods.
I
AirPods,
have some brutally
it will show up as well
chapped
and
lips,
show you the battery
and
level of
riding on my scooter and e-bike have not helped, and they are
AirPods.
killing now. So I'm gonna go
word of the day.
fix this problem. I'll be back in a second, but
And also,
enjoy
I also
Godwin's
have
video.
Top
Thanks
stories,
for
which shows the latest
letting me pull this
news
up, Godwin.
For today, a map and screen time. Okay, so my first page that would normally come up is normally you'll see I have FaceTime, pretty self-explanatory if you're an iPhone user. Calendar, okay, is where I don't use calendars too much, right? But it's there when I need it. Of course, you have your photos, okay, camera, mail. I have 274 unread messages. That's kind of embarrassing. Notes, this is where I keep all my notes and little tidbits that I need to put in. Reminders, I don't have too much reminders. There's the clock, which is very self-explanatory. There's also Apple Maps, which I normally would use only when I'm driving, as I find Apple Maps is actually
I saw
versus Google Maps.
Tech asking if she should stream. Yes, you should stream, Tech. And
It shows my sleep time, how many
There we
steps
go.
I did. I only did 181 steps. So
Carmex.
that is quite
It works. I don't know why it's green screen
Today,
out.
It's not too much.
It's yellow. It's not green, but you
Yeah,
get the
I
idea.
definitely need to improve
All right, Godwin.
this
I'll
area.
give your video a more detailed view, but
There's Wallet. With Wallet, it allows you to use Apple Pay.
it looks like you might be reading off of something, right? Because your eyes aren't quite looking at the
credit
camera.
cards, or maybe
If
even
I'm gonna be
store,
super
like,
nitpicky,
airline
but
passes,
no, almost
things
everyone
like
does that.
As you can see,
So yeah,
I have
we'll come back to this, but it looks good. What's on my iPhone 13? Go check out Godwin's channel. You did a good job showing your phone on the side. I guess you're using like Mirrorcast or one of those. You can do that with Apple phones actually quite easy. Well, you can do them with Android phones too. He reads a lot of academic journals, says Eunice. Godwin says you're not reading off of anything. But you can tell a difference, right? Like right now I'm looking directly into the camera lens, and now I'm reading the chat. Bucky Smith says, what's this about? Hope you at least have a beverage going. Yes, we do. Novell says it's always fun watching RM transit with his eyes darting back and forth. It's a tough thing. A lot of people use like teleprompters. You can get a teleprompter app actually for a tablet, and you can put that next to the camera. Or there's a website that works as a teleprompter, and you can just pull that up. But if it's not like directly in line with the camera lens, you're going to, it's really more for if you want to do it like the newscasters. You're not actually reading it, you're just familiar with it, and it's there when you need it. Betty says she hates looking directly at the camera. Well, it's just part of, I don't know, I don't really care. I just noticed that his eyes were off to the side. But Godwin, I will give that a good look. Check out Godwin L Plus, your bonus channel as well. Randy says, have you streamed from the Leslie Spit before? I don't think you have a good enough connection down there to stream. Maybe I could try going to like Tommy Thompson Park in that area. And I'll do a test to see if the cell signal will be strong enough. All right. What time is it? Should we look at some pictures from when I first arrived in Korea? In 2007 was when I quit a job, a pretty good job, and I moved to Korea. Why? I don't know. I just wanted to try something different. I'd always kind of wanted to travel a bit. I had never left North America when I went there. I lived in Canada my whole life. I've been on a plane. I've gone south. But I've never been overseas. I've never been south of Mexico. So it was kind of, to just get in a plane and move to another country like that was kind of crazy. So I brought a camera with me, and I went out the first day that I landed. Well, not the first day, I landed at night, but the next day. And I kind of explored Seoul with a couple of people, and I took a bunch of pictures. There's some pictures of me. And then I have a few pictures over the next month or two whenever I bought this was before smartphones, by the way, or before everyone had a smartphone, or before phones had good cameras. So you just didn't have a million pictures every time you went out like you did now. But anyways, I'll stop blabbing. We'll pull that down. Did I correctly configure the photo album? I don't know if that's where I want to be here. That's not the first picture of the photo album. You know what? I'm going to do something here. No, you can still see it. How do I get this back to... I know what I can do. I can remove it. And I can re-add it. There we go. We are back. So these are pictures from when I first got to Seoul, from my first full day in Seoul. What happened was one of my coworkers was kind of like, hey, new people are here. So she offered to take me out, and her friend came. So we walked around Seoul. Susan says temple in the middle of Korea. I think those are gates, actually. I don't think it's a temple. If Hayri Park is here, she could probably clarify. But yeah, so sorry if it's not the highest resolution. These were taken in 4:3. But anyways, there is a picture of somewhere in Seoul, and that is Insadong. That's kind of like a traditional village within Seoul, I guess. It's kind of a... There are pictures of me coming up, by the way, but it's a very popular place for tourists. There's some people in traditional dance. Lucky me, I saw all this on my first day, and this would have been I want to say end of August 2007. So I would have been 20. Yeah, I would have been 27 years old. Harry Park says, yeah, it's a gate. Godwin hopes to be able to go to Korea this summer. There's another picture from Insadong. This was really cool. There's a really popular place in the middle of Seoul called Jongno. And this was, they called this Piano Street. So when I got there, everyone kept like, you got to go to Piano Street. So we went to Piano Street, and as you would walk on the keys, they would obviously play a chime. However, like a month later, they ripped this out. So Piano Street was not very long lived, but that is Piano Street. And this is like pretty much, Seoul doesn't really have a downtown. It's got like several downtowns, but this would have been the main business district. And there's a picture of Jongno, and it looks just like that still if you were to go back. Notice the 2-story Baskin Robbins. That's very common there. 2-story Baskin Robbins. There's a 5-story Dunkin' Donuts, and in a place called Myeongdong, there's another coffee shop up on a second floor. This word DVD, this is funny. These are basically little tiny rooms with TVs in them. And when you go in, you pick out a movie, a DVD, hence they're called DVD bong, and then you just go watch it in a little room. It's such a weird thing, but one of the reasons why they have that is because a lot of people in Korea live in apartments. And if you're like a university age or high school age person, you don't really have privacy. You can't go somewhere with your boyfriend or girlfriend without in your home without your parents being there, because most people live in apartments. So these kind of gave couples and stuff like close places or little private places to go for like a date. That's how it was explained to me, and they're all over the place. Everywhere you go in Seoul, you'll see these DVD rooms. So that was something that struck me as interesting. These are the people who took me out my first day. I don't think I ever saw them again, actually. Well, I didn't see her. She was my coworker. I saw her every day, but I don't think I ever met her again. But they're the ones who took me out and explored. There is Cheonggyecheon. This used to be a highway. It used to be a natural river. Then it became a highway. Then they ripped the highway out and they put in this like man-made stream to replace it. And it's considered like a big urban renewal success story, because they took the highway out and they didn't replace it with anything, and traffic congestion just didn't, like, it just displaced. So it's a good argument for removing the Gardner Expressway. Boy from New York says, make up your mind. I don't know what you're talking about. Harry Park says what I said is true. So yeah, if you look up Cheonggyecheon River, you'll see a lot of this. And this is what Gyeongbokgung. This is the big palace in Seoul, Gyeongbok Palace, I think. That's like a 10-minute walk from Cheonggyecheon. And that is line 2. That is the Circle Line. They have the craziest subway network in can I do this? I am so envious of cities. Look at this. Oh no, it's not gonna get big. Do it. Anyways, that is their subway network. So in Toronto, we have like line 1, whoop, line 2, line 4, line 5 coming, line 3 way off to the side. This is the subway network in Seoul. And that picture I'm showing you is line 2, which is a circle line, or a ring line, they could call it. So that was kind of nice, or kind of neat. But yeah, I've been to a lot of stops. Some of these lines didn't exist when I lived there because they're constantly making new lines. Boy from New York says, looks like a New York City subway map. It is so much more complex than the New York City subway. It's nuts. Yeah, Tokyo is another one. Tokyo is one of the few that can rival this, I think. Let me go. How do I go back to my pictures? Anyways, that's line 2, and that is I think somewhere up here, probably near Jongno, which is right in the. This is like the middle of Seoul. Like this is where Namsan Tower is, and yada yada. There's a Hobar. These are everywhere. Every neighborhood pretty much has like a Hobar 1, a Hobar 2, a Hobar 3. That is one, I think, in Hongdae. Kind of an interesting name. They're cheap, fun bars. They usually have darts. There's the Hongdae Big Dog. Sadly, I don't think that guy's around anymore, as this is 2007. And that's a giant husky. And he was famous when I was there. Oh, you got to go see the Hongdae Big Dog. So I did. And there is an escalator. Sorry, there are pictures of me coming up, by the way. There is an escalator leading up from Shingamho Station, which is near where I lived. I thought that was funny. This is okay. Why is that not okay? Why is that not okay? The toilet is the exact place you want to be doing that. I can understand why that's not okay. And if someone wants to do that, so what? Let them? I don't see what's wrong about that. A little creepy. But also, what's wrong with this? What's the guy doing there that's so bad? I don't know. Anyways. I saw that in a in a washroom. And there is a picture of somewhere at night. Pretty much everywhere looks like that at night. There's another gate. That's a palace. Some pretty trees. That fish probably would be that fresh. No, I don't think so. Kartik. Yes, I have seen that. Actually, I've seen videos about that. There's Namsan Tower. That's the big communications tower up on a hill. Hey, there I am. I promised pictures of me. There's a picture of me and two random people. This still would have been like my first week ever in Seoul. We're off of the first day, by the way, but Godwin says there's a sign in the men's room in Chartwell Center telling people not to steal the toilet paper. Yikes, are they using like that like really nice 2 or 3 ply toilet paper? Because generally whenever you go somewhere, the toilet paper they have is not worth stealing. Look at that young feller. Lisa says that hair though. This is, wow, I was 27 in this. Now I'm 41. So that's me 14 years ago. And there is a hot dog with potatoes on it, with ketchup all over it. And it comes like that. What the scribe says, do many locals speak English? A lot of people in Korea do. A lot of people have studied it at some point. It is mandatory in high school, but it's mandatory there in the way that French is mandatory here. So if you're like me and you just half-assed it, you didn't, like, yeah, I took French, but did I know French? No. Could I say anything about the... So there were a lot of people like that, but overall, the English was pretty good. So if you go to Korea, you do not need to know Korean. It certainly helped in terms of like telling taxi drivers not to rip me off and letting them know that I knew what I was doing. But as a tourist, you don't need to speak the local language or read it at all. They also, I think it was the 1988 Olympics, when they started giving some of their streets names, because their streets in Korea, they don't have street names. Like you live in a building, your building has a name and often a number, and that is in like a zone or a district. So your address is like, I live in Seoul, in Gumho, in this specific part, and it's building number 8. And they can figure out how to deliver your packages. However, when the Olympics came, they started naming some of the big streets. And some of the big streets got names. So that's kind of interesting. And they also put English on all the street signs. So when you're driving around, you can see like where you're going in plain English. Harry Park says, did I put sugar for my hot dog? I don't think I did that. There's some typical street food. Godwin says Japan is the same thing. There's a picture of Namsan Tower. at night with some kind of weird art display going on. Look at that good quality night shot from my camera. Godwin's tummy is growling. I just had a bowl. What did I have a bowl of? I had a bowl of cornflakes for dinner. Cornflakes and a banana and one leftover slice of pizza. All right, so this is a picture from when I went to a game of North Korea versus South Korea. And that was a guy I used to work with. His name was Christian. So he was there. This was my first year. I taught at one school my first year and then a different school for 4 more years after. Lisa says someone needs to teach me how to cook. What are you talking about? There's my roommate. There is Nate. And that's his girlfriend, Kirsten. So this is the guy I lived with when I was first in Korea. And there's a picture of the field. Ah, exciting. Harry Park says, no, it's much better when you put sugar. I didn't know. You should have told me. I didn't know I had to put sugar. Yes, Tech Needs Tea says no sexism in the chat. That should be obvious, people. That should be obvious just to function in society and not get... Anyways. There's a picture of me. We were cold, by the way, and we were way up at the top, so it wasn't sold out. But there's my roommate, Nate. There I am, looking like an idiot for some reason, wearing fingerless gloves. What? They'll teach me how to cook Italian food. I make a mean spaghetti. I don't need instructions on how to do that. Lisa says I look like an... I am days away from being 28 here, Lisa. Days away from being 28. Bill Chow says, if I travel to Korea again, you would like to see videos of the trendy Gangnam district. I have a few videos from Gangnam the last time I was in Korea, actually. That's where I lived. There's a picture on the street for some reason. Another picture of Namsan Tower. I just randomly stole some pictures. There's a picture of, I think this is Namdaemun Market. Korean folk handicraft. Anyways, there's a lot of markets that look just like this. Hey, I don't know why people would be disgusted. It actually looks quite delicious. Hey, who's that dork? And what is this all about? I remember this t-shirt. I had like a silver thumbprint t-shirt for some reason. I have no idea. PGH. No, in 2007. I was born in 1980. So, no, I would have been... Wait a minute. Would you have been turning 27? That's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, I think this is 2008 because I went when I was 27. Sorry, this is 2008. That's why I was all screwed up. It's 2008. Sorry. Boy band Johnny. Hey, look at that. That looks like a guy who has a shiny face for some reason. Ali BHG says close up. Yep. And there I am. That's at a Ho bar. And I am drinking Caffrey. Caffrey is like a knockoff of Corona, but it's cheaper. And all the bars have it. So you tend to just drink Caffrey when you're there. I kind of liked it. But I think that was taken the same day, a little later on, from a Ho bar. Ooh, look at that. Why was I doing a faux hawk? What are you doing, Johnny? I think this is Bukchangdong. I think it's like a really old preserved village in downtown Seoul. You can see like the Samsung building here, and you can see Namsan Tower in the background. What's up? Should I relive the faux hawk days? Should I go back to that? What is that? Billy likes the old pics. They're going to get better in quality if we keep doing this on future streams. I got to save some for later, but yikes, that hair is awful. Astro Boy hair. Are you in Hanok Village? I think it's called Bukchongdong. Jeanette says no more faux hawks. All right. We have left Seoul. So my first year there, it was a week before Christmas, and my roommate was like, "Hey, I just bought a plane ticket to Taipei for Christmas. Going there Christmas Eve and staying through New Year's." And he was like, "Do you want to come with me? I think you can still get a ticket." So literally 10 minutes later, I had purchased a plane ticket to Taipei. So this is my first trip out of Korea. I would then later go to Thailand later that year. But this is Taipei. So I got a few pictures from Taipei. So that's it for Korea. I have way more, but I didn't know if people would like them or not. So I'll save those for later. But now we're in Taipei. And there I am drinking the very appropriately named Taiwan beer. And this is actually at the airport. Believe it or not, we had a beer when we landed. Boardwalk Brad says, "What's going on, Johnny? Loving the photos." Hello, Boardwalk Brad. Thank you very much for the $13.99. What's going on right now? Apparently, the Oscars are going on right now. Cleanup Man says bootleg NSYNC member. Lisa says we would not have been friends. I don't know what was up with that hair. Give me a break. That's also, I just got off the plane. So the biggest difference between Taipei and Seoul, at least to me at first, were all the damn scooters and motorbikes you get in Taipei. It was nuts. Boardwalk Brad says you can bet on the Oscars on Proline Plus. Just reading some of your messages. Thank you again, Boardwalk Brad. Is it just me, or does it look like one guy is doing the other guy from behind? I don't understand. Maybe some of you can read the text and understand what it says. If you can read Chinese characters, I have no idea. But I just thought it was funny because it looked like a guy was doing another guy. But really, he's just bending over and bowing, I think. They're playing wheelbarrow. Novell Cost says those guys are getting to know each other. Yeah, it should be. You should show the picture and be like, what is the caption? It says, don't do this. Hey, there's another picture of me looking kind of snarly. Look at the flare jeans. Look at this. Tight up here. And then they just kind of flare out at the bottom. And I'm wearing like all white leather shoes. Who is this guy? Who's it? And look at that watch. Look at that big chonky watch. Who is this idiot? At least it says snarly. And I'm clearly like, I don't even have my eyes open in the picture. Oliver Warmflash says Johnny's new mic sounds great. Thank you. Listening to some of my old streams, I don't know. It certainly sounds 1,000 times better. But yeah, I don't know. I think flares were a thing back then. I think those would have been H&M jeans. I have no idea. Harjot got a haircut today. Congrats, Harjot. Chris Mills says I'm number 3. I went back here when I went back to Taipei, I think in 2019. So Bill Chow says, be careful, drive slow, be courteous. That makes sense. You know what? I'm going to say, I think I've been to a lot of countries where people are supposed to be, where people have a reputation for being nice and friendly. They call Thailand the land of smiles. Everyone in the Philippines greets you with a big ass smile and are friendly, but I don't know if I've been to a friendlier place than Taiwan. Like, these people here are awesome. They're just really, really, really nice people. And not in a, we're going out of our way to be nice to you kind of way. They're just genuinely like super nice people. So highly recommend going to Taipei. Godwin says maybe I should look at my old photos. Hey, it's the former tallest building in the world, Taipei 101. I remember going up that elevator and having my ears pop. Dan says, I thought Canada was supposed to be the nicest place. I can't judge that. It's different when it's your own backyard. I can't. And there's a view from Taipei 101. It was a pretty hazy day, but that's kind of common in that part of the world. It was certainly very common when I lived in Korea. A lot of days, like beautiful warm day in summer, and this is what it looks like. Susan never got to visit 101. Oh, it's really cool. Look at this. Look at the scaffolding. None of these people were secured. There were no harnesses. I don't even think they were wearing hard hats. They were just literally working, like just hanging off of the scaffolding. I don't even know what they were doing or what they were working on, but I thought that was kind of nuts. Godwin, this was a Nikon Coolpix, like point and shoot. It was still kind of expensive, but it obviously looks absolutely like rubbish. Ugh. I can't imagine anyone wanting to eat these. Yuck. There's some food from the market in Taipei. I don't know why I thought that was funny. I also don't know why I included it in this live stream. Baby dog. There's just an example of what every street in Taipei is like. Jeanette says, yum, yum. Ugh, who would like that? But look at all the motorbikes. This is everywhere you go. All of Taipei is like this. Godwin got timed out for 5 seconds. Godwin getting on the bad side of Nightbot. Looks funny when there's such tall buildings standing alone. In Canada, they're always packed in clusters. Yeah, Taipei 101 definitely sticks out like a sore thumb. But it's still cool. And there is the restaurant that inspired the Poop Cafe in Toronto. This was the first of its kind, if I'm not mistaken. It's called the Modern Toilet. So when you go in there, it's basically just a big old washroom. And you sit on a toilet bowl. My complaints are many. These were not comfortable seats, and there was no backrest. I nope right out of any place that wants me to sit without a backrest. I'm sorry. I don't care how much you're into trendy design. No backrest, I'm not sitting there. But yeah, these were really uncomfortable. I remember that, but still kind of cool to be sitting on a toilet. And I remember they used to have like toilet paper rolls on the wall for tissue, which is a very common thing they do in a lot of bars in Korea. For $30, you may have your drink provided in a urinal bottle that you can take home with you. This is not a product for the faint-hearted or those with weak nerves. Our restaurant accepts no responsibility for any heart attacks, panic attacks, or attack of hysterics that should result. What? Did this really cause any heart attacks or panic attacks or freak anyone out? That is really weird. Ali BHG says disgusting. So bizarre indeed. And there is how your food came. In this really cool toilet and your side dishes. Techniques T says Uno. TV DXER says not for me. Lisa says, why did you even go there? My roommate wanted to go there. And I'm always up for going anywhere. Bucky Smith says more of a Niagara Falls type of place. This place started a trend. These restaurants are now all over the world, and we even have one in Toronto, the Poop Cafe. There I am with that amazing hair, drinking out of a urinal, apparently. TVDXR says couldn't eat that. Just reading in some of your comments. Yeah, the urinal drink. The urinal drink indeed. TVDXR would have walked out. But you knew what you were getting into when you went there. James Franco, look. And there's what my meal looked like. It looks like I got some chicken nuggets in a toilet bowl next to some dip. And my drink in the urinal. Ashley Parker from O-Town. Looks more like a toilet brush holder. Bill Chow dropping the real info. 22 new Taiwan dollars equals 1 Canadian dollar. Lisa says this is so bad. Right up there with the Poop Cafe, says Vivian Johnson. I've actually been to the Poop Cafe. And there is dessert. And just in case you're wondering, I thought they screwed this up. They could have really made the ice cream look like something, but instead they decided to make the ice cream look like ice cream. Seems like a missed opportunity to have a little more fun with that. Lisa says, yeah, I did. With some friends. It wasn't my idea. I didn't arrange that or want to go there. But we went there, and then we went to Clinton's one night. That's why we were in the area. Pooping and eating at the same time when you're in a rush. Hey, this is 2008, Johnny. I'm allowed to go to a poop restaurant. Okay, we have left the modern toilet. There is a movie theater. It's crazy in Taipei how many movie theaters they have. They're all tiny, but there's like a movie theater on every block. Harry Park says looks like normal ice cream. Yes. And there is a view of waiting for the train in Taipei somewhere. I'm assuming that's Taipei. Looks kind of like Taipei. And there's a picture of Taipei from up in the mountains. Warning. Drug trafficking is punishable by death in the Republic of China. I think the official legal name for Taiwan is Republic of China. And their passports used to say Republic of China on it. But recently, I think the new president changed that. So their passports now actually say Taiwan. Which I think is really cool because they're their own country. They have their own identity. Anyways. That is it for photos tonight. We've been through my first few weeks in Korea and then Taipei. Let's pull this up.
Hi there.
How far are we? All right, Godwin. I'm going to go to the little boys' room. So we're going to enjoy some Godwin.
Is Weather Network. Now,
I'll be
Weather
back.
Network is Canada's national weather channel. What I like about Weather Network is
turn this down and turn this up.
detail,
All right, guys.
on
I'll
the
be
day's
2
weather.
minutes.
For example, it's showing
I don't
here
know.
in Thornhill
It's not a light bulb
that
change,
it's 10
but I'll be back.
degrees Celsius. And it also gives you hour by hour what the weather is like for the next 36 hours. And of course, the next 14 days, whether or not we're expecting any major meteorological events or not. So it also allows you to select different cities. As you can see, I have Montreal as well in there. So I can check what the weather is like in different cities across Canada. Next is my chart. Now my chart is where I keep all my health records. I started using this when I was hospitalized in August, and since then I've had to had a few other appointments. Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm fine, and this event that happened will not impact me at all. There's the calculator, which is very self-explanatory. There's also utilities where I just keep some random apps in there that I sometimes may use, but they're good to have. Social, I don't know why I have TELUS there. TELUS is my mobile phone company. When I go into the TELUS app, it allows me to see what my bill is, how much data I've used, things like that. WhatsApp for communicating with my friends and family, and the same thing with Telegram. For travel, I have the Google Maps, okay? There's also Presto. What Presto is, it's our transit card. It allows us to tap onto the public transportation in specifically in the Greater Toronto area, like the Toronto Transit Commission, York Region Transit, Mississauga Transit, or Durham Region, or even Go Transit.
Uber,
Transit
Lyft,
is
TTC
another
bus.
app that I
No,
use
use
quite
Rocket
frequently.
Man.
It tells
Use
me
Rocket
when
Man.
the next buses are at my closest bus stop.
Thank you,
In
Godwin,
this case,
for
the
keeping
number
everyone
77 is coming in.
Entertained while I stepped away for a minute. Yes, it was 1 minute. I was counting. Tech Needs Tea says, all right, sadly, I must go. See you all later. See, we were going to play Rap Battle, Tech, and you're not even here for it. All right, Tech, thanks for dropping by. See you next time. Have a good night. And thank you, Godwin. We'll finish this video. If Godwin is still even here. Ali BHG says Twitch stream. Oh, I have not streamed on Twitch in a very, very long time. Where am I going here? I thought I was logged in. Miss Quiplash and Bidiots? Does anyone miss Bidiots? Sorry, Tech. We were gonna do Rap Battle, but now we're not. No, you'll stay. Sorry, no, I'm just kidding. I just felt like saying that. So were the pics shared on a previous live stream as good as today's? I'll have to watch it, says Claudia. They were similar, I guess. Sanjay asks, did I hear Action Kid got a car in Miami? Yes, I know all about that. He was we were messaging about that. So it's possible I'm going to head down there at some point later this year and stay in Miami and do some riding around in his car. Let's take a look at Reddit Toronto. What's going on today? Ford and Tory broke ground on a new Ontario line on Sunday. I actually watched this on TV. Emo's Music Channel. Hi, Johnny. How are you doing? Thank you, Emo's Music Channel, for the $5. Thank you very much. And I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. Boardwalk Brad says, so what's the review on the new camera? Too early to tell because I have like a pre-release. There's a few. Overall, I like the form factor. I love the replaceable battery. I love that I can plug in a microphone.
Hi, Johnny Strides. How you doing?
It checks all the boxes except there's a few minor issues, such as it doesn't pan smoothly every time. And there was a bit of a jitter later on in the filming. So I'm hoping that a firmware update can fix that. So hopefully that ends up in the final product. So I'm going to hold off on having any opinions on it one way or the other until I've actually spent some time with it. And the company did like what I have. They sent me something in it that doesn't even like, it's not even released yet, but it's this thing here, and you wear it on your ear, and you say like, why are you wearing something on your ear for a camera? But anyways, it does head tracking, so the camera will turn and look at whatever you look at. So it's kind of neat. But this doesn't work yet too. It's still in development. So they're still finalizing it, but so yeah, I'm not gonna. I wouldn't say go out and buy it, but I wouldn't say don't. I just need some more time. Bill Chow says the new camera seems to. Yeah, it does, but so does the old camera. So I don't know. It's just matter of preference, I guess. So yeah, the Ontario line. Fun fact, Doug Ford broke ground on the Ontario line, but Doug Ford also canceled the line that came before it. In fairness to Mr. Ford, the line we're getting is actually better than the one he canceled. It's got more stops, it's more expansive, but don't pat yourself on the back and take credit for something that we were getting anyways. Also, now it's delayed 3 years. But yeah, it's going to start up in North York at the Science Center. Then it's going to go through Flemington Park. I did one video through Flemington Park once. And then Thorncliffe Park, there's a area that's in bad need of better transit. Then it's going to go from Thorncliffe Park all the way down to Cosburn. So I'm guessing this is Pape. So Pape and Cosburn is getting a subway station, and then Pape Station, and then down to Gerrard, and then, so this is like the very eastern edge of East Chinatown, and then Leslieville is getting a stop, and then East Harbor, and then Corktown. So here's a big stretch with no stop, and then Moss Park, Queen, Osgood. So apparently the intersection of Queen and Yonge is going to be closed for several years to traffic, just completely shut down. So that's going to be interesting. And then Osgood is getting a stop. Queen and Spadina is getting a stop. Hopefully this isn't the end of everyone's favorite McDonald's. Then King and Bathurst. And then Exhibition Ontario Place. Actually, where's the Queen and Spadina station going to go in? Hopefully they don't have to do any bulldozing or demolish any existing structures for it. But anyways, there is the line. Lisa says it's going to truly F up. Yeah, it is. But, and the sad thing is, if it's anything at all like the Eglinton line up here, it's really going to F things up, because that line was kind of a disaster. Still is. And they would not commit to a finish date either. It was originally like 2030, but people are speculating it's going to be like 2031, 2032. Oh, Lisa, you broke up with your guy. Hopefully it was for the better. I just saw a message saying, no, Lisa's leaving us. Sorry to hear that, but sometimes that's good news, right? Breaking up's not always a bad thing. Lost dog seen at 1 p.m. March 27th, St. Clair and Borden. Do not chase. Aw. Could you put a picture of a cuter looking animal? My friend's dog escaped this afternoon. He has a purple leash that should still be attached. He's very skittish, so please don't chase if you spot him. Updates found. Thanks for checking. Hey, there's some good news. Awesome. The ultimate GTA Transit. I think this is like a fantasy map. Yeah, so I showed you that picture of Seoul's subway map. This is literally like if Toronto were run by the people who run Seoul, this is what it would look like. Holy crap. Look at this. I can't scroll it slowly. I live here at Eglinton. What is this? So someone just decided to have fun and make a fantasy transit map. Right. How do I get back? If we're posting theoretical solutions, I'd like to propose gravity trains, 45 minutes between any 2 points on Earth, even halfway across the Earth through the core. Yeah, he says that looks like the Paris metro system. After the Costa Rican gut punch, Canada pushing for historic night at home against Jamaica. Hey, I think we beat Jamaica tonight, so congratulations to the Canadian national men's soccer team. I think the women won the gold medal in the last Olympics, and now the men are going to the World Cup. So Canada kicking ass as a soccer nation. Did anyone see that coming? But either way, congrats to them for doing that. Unfortunately, they have to go to Qatar, which I'm not a big fan of holding the World Cup there, but we'll leave that out of it. Congrats to the men for doing that. There's a cool picture of the Queen Street Viaduct, Queen East. It's I wouldn't even know how to do that picture. Novell says very cool. I had no idea we had a soccer team. Henry Park says you need no car if you visit Seoul. I remember in Korea when people would go drinking and they would just drive their car, and then there's a service where someone will drive you home in your own car. So like it's just amazing, that country. Baroom with a View, 95 years of the Monarch Tavern. That's one of the oldest taverns in the city. At 12 Clinton Street. Suspect sought after man stabbed in the chest in downtown Toronto. A suspect in a downtown Toronto stabbing that left a man critically injured is seen in this photo. And this was at Grange Park too. My mind, for some reason, thought this would be on the east side. Godwin says Randy's Patties closed. Didn't Drake say he was going to like bail out Randy's Patties? Was he just blowing smoke there? All talk, no action. Ontario reaches $10 a day childcare deal with federal government. I don't know enough about that situation. Ontario line station renderings. This could be cool. Exhibition stadium. Why do we need these big grandiose stadiums? It's a subway line. It should literally be a hole in the ground with some steps. Still, exhibition stadium looks pretty cool. They're putting a canopy over the GO train section. That's pretty radical. King Bathurst. So there's King and Bathurst. Don't tell me this whole building is a subway station entrance. That is an unbelievable waste, if that is true. Really? You're going to tear down an entire block? Like, they're doing the same thing they did with the Eglinton line. The Ottawa Wanderer, Lisa Palmer, $5. Thank you, the Ottawa Wanderer, for your super chat. I'm not a fan of this kind of subway station. Osgood. Oh, they're going to put it... Wasn't this a Rexall right here, this building? Yeah, there's the mini... I guess that works. This one kind of works, I guess. Naughty Brown says, hi, Johnny's still out, but going home now. Queen. Well, yeah, there's already an existing Queen station there, so that makes sense. Moss Park and Corktown. A new station will be at the northwest corner of Sherbourne and Queen. Man, can you imagine a subway station at Sherbourne and Queen? That is literally in Moss Park. All right, Godwin, have a good night. Thanks for the video. Are these LRT stations, Deshaun? No, these are actual subway stations. Riverside and Leslieville. This is a controversial one. Riverside, Leslieville. I think it's the line is above ground for that section. I've never seen these. Gerard, Pape, and Cosburn. That's kind of funky. Oh, that is Danforth. I know that church. Thorncliffe Park, another elevated station. Flemington Park and the Science Center. Oh, there's the Eglinton Crosstown train, for some reason painted green up there in Metrolinx colors. Not a huge fan. I think subway stations should be discreet, but what do I know? Come on, let me go back. Let me go back. Novell Cost wants to see some brighter colors. A new chapter for the University of Toronto's brutalist behemoth. Oh, because they built this extension on it. I still think it's one of the ugliest buildings of all time. Ever wonder what the TTC was like 100 years ago? Take a trip back in time with this new exhibit. The display includes historic photographs, artifacts, and maps. Notice how everyone back then dressed so well? Like, these guys are working, and they're all wearing, like, collared shirts. Irma James, the TTC's first black female streetcar driver in the 1970s. Why did it take so long? She was fighting 2 battles there. I want to know, when was the first female TTC operator? You think that would have... Not that that would be better, but it should still be a lot earlier than that. There's an initial subway map. There's some work going on. Kevin Brown, an instructor at... Yeah. Okay, so a lot of cool old stuff. The history of Mary Brown's Chicken in Toronto. Didn't it just get here? Today, I learned that the old City Hall Tower in Toronto is almost 7 meters taller than Big Ben in London. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that? I did not know that. I always thought of Big Ben as this huge, grandiose, like, awe-inspiring clock tower. But apparently the one on Old City Hall is taller? What? It doesn't seem to have the girth. Is that the right word for that? The width? Yeah, he says that's a straight up lie. There's no way it can be. Big Ben is the name of the bell in the tower, but not the tower. Beating England at anything is all that matters. Yes, we all knew that Commerce Court North was the tallest building in the British Commonwealth. I have mentioned that many times in my videos. Also surprisingly taller than the Peace Tower in Ottawa. What? Old City Hall is much taller. It is 103 meters? No way. I would have bet the farm that the Peace Tower in Ottawa was taller than the tower at Old City Hall. These are some really interesting facts. I gotta bring these up in a video. Video? Who says that? But anyways, that's cool. I did not know that. Parked diagonally across 4 spots. The Ottawa Wanderer, Lisa Palmer, $10. Love you, Johnny. Thank you very much for your support. Lisa Palmer, thank you very much for the super chat.
Love you, Johnny.
Parked across 4 spots. TVDXR says Big Ben retired this year. Yeah, hopefully doors open is a thing. Cuban restaurant in Toronto known for their churros is permanently closing. That's sad. Construction begins on a Parkdale building that will create 51 homes for people facing homelessness. That's neat. Photo I took of gas prices 2 years ago. What do you think it is? 65.3. What is it now? Like 169 something? That's nuts. Yeah, there was a fire at Scotiabank Arena last night, and they had to evacuate the arena. So if you had tickets to that, you only got to see half the game. And what's going on in BlogTO? Toronto restaurant with suspiciously similar menu to Toroni has permanently closed. You can now get products from Indigenous-led small businesses at a big Toronto drugstore. Sweet. The Point Abino Lighthouse is now... Okay. I don't think there's anything interesting here. This could be cool. The transformation of Toronto Skyline from 1880 to today. Man, imagine the CN Tower if it just looked like that. Emma says BlogTO is a lot of clickbait filler. All right, Jeanette. Good night, Johnny and friends. Gotta go and early wake up tomorrow. Have a good night, Jeanette. Thank you for dropping in. And thank you to everyone else for dropping in. We're going to sign off at around 9 p.m. I still have some videos to do, and I also have a few things I want to catch up on and watch. What's the weather going to be like tomorrow? Yes, let's talk to Google like it's a person. 20. Give me Celsius, man. Why are you giving me Fahrenheit? Monday, -10, -5. Tuesday, -7. I want to go out and do an e-scooter stream, but I'm going to freeze my... Oh, I have that balaclava. Should I wear the balaclava and go e-scooter stream? Lisa says someone want to come walk my dog. I'm pretty good at going to places and walking dogs. So there is Toronto in the late 1880s, very much an industrial port city. 1914, nothing really. 1919, not a whole lot. In the 20s, we can see these. I think these are the Canadian malting silos. In the 30s, we got a rockin' skyline. We have up here, you can see the Royal York under construction. That is cool. Then when the Royal York was completed, it was the tallest building in the British Commonwealth. And then when Commerce Court North was completed here, it was the tallest building in the British Commonwealth. And by 1940, they were still the two tallest buildings. Imagine the Royal York. Maybe, can I make this bigger? There we go. That's better. Imagine the Royal York being the tallest building. Ew. I'm glad all these got demolished. 1957. Still not much change. So from like the 30s all the way to the 50s. Not a whole lot changed. Novell says Toronto Skyline competed with Buffalo. Buffalo is an underrated skyline. They have a lot of like really cool Art Deco skyscrapers and architectural gems. 1964. Oh, there's a building going up right here. And there's a lot more lower buildings. I think this is Young and Bloor way up there. 1967, the Mies van der Rohe masterpiece popped up. You can see almost identical buildings in Chicago and New York City. And here is the sugar refinery. I think this is Redpath Sugar right here. Look at these big freighters docking. And this, I think, is St. James Cathedral, if I'm not mistaken. Just to put some perspective. So this is sort of to the southeast a little bit of downtown, because you can see which way the Royal York is facing. Then in 1974, we have the CN Tower. Look at that. There's a crane up there. Imagine being that crane operator. And we had a few more additions to the TD Center, and Commerce Court West appeared, taking the and the first of the Harborfront monstrosities appeared. There is the building. That building is at Bay and Queen right now. It is getting a new facade. But there's Commerce Court West. Then in 1981, First Canadian Place showed up. And to this day, it is still the tallest building in Toronto. That is nuts. So we went from 1981, now it is 2022, and we still have the same building holding the tallest record. It will be broken later this year, as a few buildings will surpass it, but it's still kind of surprising. Witless Scribe remembers the TD Center opening. Mies is a mood. He's all about those 90-degree angles, isn't he? And the RBC Tower is here. The all-glass RBC Tower popped up. And the Westin. I don't know if the Westin appeared earlier. And look how lonely the CN Tower is. 1990, we have the Sky Dome. Scotiabank Plaza, or Scotia Plaza. The BCE Place, I think that's the original name, was going up right here. The Three Sisters, they're called. These apartment buildings right here are up. It's very, very... It's got peaks and valleys to the skyline, right? Little valleys here. In 2001, still lacking in the mass. Nouvelle Costas FCP was the 7th tallest in the world when it was built, and it stayed in the top 10 for over a decade. It has a sister building by the same architect that was also made of the same material in Chicago, the Aon Center, but both buildings ended up getting reclad because that marble was not a good choice of materials after all. But that is 2001. 2007 still looks kind of thin. Like there's like a flat top on these condos here. These condos are the worst. They block so much by like going along the lakefront sideways. Still not a whole lot. Oh, One King West appeared. The Harry Stinson built One King West. And the second like Flatiron style building appeared. The real Flatiron building being just over here. 2010. Oh, First Canadian Place is being reclad. You can see the construction material on the outside. That's pretty neat. Skyline is looking pretty good. 2016. There we go. City Place is in full swing. More so than here even. Got City Place. Aura is up here. That's at Bay and College. One Bloor West is under construction in this. That's interesting. And in 2022, we have this whole South Core district here, which because it's so close to the lake, looks like it's actually taller than the financial district. And the black helicopters are circling. We should be very aware or very afraid. That was a really cool article. Blog TO. Hats off to whoever did that. That's the kind of thing I should be doing on this channel about Toronto, isn't it? 10 secret streets to explore in Toronto. They're just giving me content ideas. 10 magnificent buildings lost to demolition. And what is happening? Blog TO is actually creating good content. 10 secret streets to explore in Toronto. Elmsley Place. Did you know that UFT has a private street? That there's a gated entrance off of it. Glasgow Street. Yes, I knew Glasgow Street. Possibly one of the coolest streets in Toronto. You'll enter off Cecil Avenue and walk north until you encounter a row of Second Empire houses across from a hidden parquet. The whole time you'll feel like you're in on an urban secret. Redway Road. This one won't be a secret to Toronto cycling community. Yeah, I've heard of that. I think that was featured in a Cycle YYZ video. Here, the Canadaland episode with Tim Shore. No, I haven't. You could explore some. Yeah, This one runs alongside the opposite side of the Don Valley, tucked off of O'Connor Drive. Its secret status owes mostly to the fact that it leads only to the Toronto Police Dog Services facility. If not for that, it'd make the perfect spot to park. Beechwood Drive. I'm going to make a video on at least one of these, right? A hidden Toronto video. This is a secret road? Kensington Place. Yes, I have covered Kensington Place before. Fitzroy Terrace. I have covered Fitzroy Terrace many times. Those are in Kensington Market. Glen Bally Place. Blink and you'll miss the entrance to this cul-de-sac off of bustling Spadina Avenue in the heart. Yes, I've been along this one too. I did one video where I checked out all these places. Ben Lamont Drive. Quite possibly the most secret street in Toronto. This one doesn't appear on Google Maps, but if you follow along Glen Oak Drive after Ben Lamont Avenue, you'll see a street sign marking this most private of laneways. Alpha Avenue, one of a number of quirky streets throughout Cabbagetown. Alpha Avenue is lined with late 19th century workers' cottages under the shadow of the hulking towers of St. Jamestown. Alpha Avenue? What? Toronto. Oh. Yes, I have been on this street. I have showed this street on one of my videos before. I guess that's hidden. I don't know. Bisley Street, another one that's nearly impossible to spot unless you know exactly where to look. Bisley Street is a laneway located off of Verrill near Carlaw and Queen. All right, I might have to go check some of these out. Good job, Blog TO. Maybe they just hired a writer who's really into this stuff. 10 magnificent buildings lost to demolition. That looks like an old armory, actually. There was a huge armory where I think New City Hall is now. Lisa says a real writer. There's not a lot of those left in journalism, is there? Some houses sink in Toronto because there is a river under them, says Boy from New York. Yeah, I've noticed that, and I've read about that before. And the Garrison River is long since buried as well, and there's a lot of properties over top of that. So we've got 5 minutes left. I'm going to open up the floor to you guys. Any questions? Let's do an impromptu AMA. Feel free to ask yourselves anything. Yes, I decided to end the stream at 9 p.m. I have long finished my beer. Actually, I haven't. There's a little bit left. Hello, Devin Sullivan. Welcome to the stream. AMA with Stumbles. Are you hungry? Asks Susan. I'm not hungry. That bowl of cornflakes and leftover pizza was enough, along with a banana. And for lunch, what did I have? That was my lunch. I guess I didn't even have a dinner. By the way, Johnny Stumbles, this is Alex Gets Around TO in the backup account in case anything... What do you mean in case anything happens? But it makes sense. Lisa has photos on Blog TO but stopped contributing years ago because of the decline in journalistic integrity. Isn't that most publications that have declined? Harjot says, Johnny, are going to check out our comments. I'm going to check out your comments in the chat. Leftover Dominoes. Yes, I have a hack for Dominoes. I might make a video on it, but it's a cool way to get some free toppings without paying for them on the app. So I've lately been employing that. When do you plan to travel next, Sanjay? Hopefully later this spring. How are you enjoying the scooter? I miss most of the time. The scooter is awesome, Estelle, except I screwed up the video. If I show you the video... Lisa Palmer, $5. Thank you, Lisa Palmer. Where is my screwed up scooter video? Oh, it's on this drive. If I play it, you'll see what I mean. Naughty Brown says, any advice for writing essays when you have the facts but your brain just won't work? Sorry. So yeah, here's the video of my new scooter. This thing has 4 different... But I am like zoomed in. I'm zoomed in, but I'm using the wide angle lens. So it's not horrible. It's actually kind of interesting how it looks. So I'm thinking if you're a channel member or a Patreon supporter, I'm going to upload this for you guys to look at, or to see. But that is... Hey everyone, it is Saturday, March 26th. Yeah, it is definitely zoomed in. And I didn't shave that day. PM, and the temperature is around 6 degrees Celsius. Any advice for job interviews? Look over towards Yonge Street. Bring your best BS game. Look him in the eye. Be friendly. You don't have to be perfect. I don't really know. And that's what actually brings me to this location to start this one. I was going to hop on the subway and head up to Unionville sometime. Yeah, people have been asking me. Once again, the TTC has closed this portion of Line 1 over the weekend. This audio, by the way, is off the camera, so it's not the good audio. But show the scooter. I've got with me a new... I don't know how I didn't notice that I was zoomed in. There is the new scooter. But there is the 9-bot Max. 9-bot Max. Already got some mud on it. 30p. So I wanted to see what it was like bringing this thing onto the subway, as it's a bit heavier than my other scooter. So this is the video that is not going to be upload for the masses. And I went to town on it too. It was a nice long video. It was over an hour. I bought a new phone holder, by the way, that fits the scooter a little better. Before, other than riding it from my apartment down here. I almost have a full battery. Estelle says, awesome. Devin hates it when he doesn't realize he's zoomed in. Yeah, I didn't realize until I got home because part 2 I filmed on a second camera. And look how like nice and wide this looks. You can tell this is not zoomed in. This is what it's supposed to look like. Doesn't indicate and hits the curb. Good job, Lexus. Well, look at this Lexus. No indicator. And look at this turn. Good job. Doesn't indicate. Butt face. Nice driving. Bev says, well, this lurking mod is signing off. Have a good night. Have a good night. We know you're secretly going to watch the Oscars. Make sure to get another light for the handlebar if you want to ride in the dark. The built-in light is not enough. All right, cleanup. That's some good advice. Lisa says, very Toronto turn. And we've hit 9 p.m. So we have come to the end. But I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe we'll do some more pictures again later. I think that kind of helped let time go by in a hopefully fun way. Susan says Johnny needs a horn as loud as the horn. I do have a very loud horn. And it's on the single speed right now, but I could move it. But anyways, thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you to our mods. Thank you to everyone who sent a super chat. Thank you to our channel members. Thank you to everyone for just joining. Don't forget to subscribe to both channels if you haven't. I will be streaming on the new e-scooter next week. I'm also going to try to do a walking stream and try to do an e-bike stream. So I'm going to try to do 3 next week, plus the Friday stream. Chuck Diamond, $20, always supporting your channel.
Always supporting your Chanel's.
Chanel's, says my... This is the Robo Voice. Thank you, Chuck D, for your $20. It's super appreciated. Thank you, Chuck D. Alex says nice pics from South Korea. Thank you. Thank you, Brad Palmer. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Devin. Thank you, boy from New York. Thank you again, Chuck. All right, guys, I'm signing off. Stay warm. Stay safe. Hopefully I don't have to say it anymore, but it's like a freaking winter day today. But don't do what I'm going to do. I'm going to go put on the Oscars and then shoot myself in the face. No, I won't. But anyways, guys, I will stream probably Tuesday. Tomorrow looks kind of cold from the e-scooter because I'm really excited to get out and make some content with it. So thanks for watching. I will catch you later as I confirm ending the stream.